Hello, this is Craig Pretzinger, and this is another agency playbook. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about 3 questions that you can ask yourself about what you got for your bonus. And hopefully this is going to help you to really create a mental framework of what you need to do to really improve the results for 2023. So let's dive in.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
All right. So the first question you're going to want to ask yourself is, are you happy with this year's bonus? This is important, right? So we're going to take a look. It's February. We call this bonus month, right? It's Christmas in February because this is the big paycheck of the year if everything worked out, right? If you didn't get a bonus, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just look to what are the steps that you can take to ensure that you get a bonus this year, right? Really important because the bonus is the gravy. If we look at the monthly as, especially at the front end of your career, we're going to look at that monthly as we're going to spend, break even, and roll. We're going to push as much into the monthly as possible so that we can max that bonus. Because once you get that bonus that first time, if you remember some of the stories Jason's talked about, and then subsequently myself, when we get that bonus, if we can turn around and re-inject that back into the business, that's the rocket fuel. That's going to take us to scale. So that's the first question. Are you happy with your bonus this year? And I don't mean just like rattle it around in the brain, but actually take a piece of paper out and do this as an exercise. Write down, are you happy with your bonus and why or why not? And be real with yourself. Doesn't mean to beat up yourself. Doesn't mean to be tough on yourself, because if you didn't hit it, that's okay, right? We don't necessarily hit it every single year because you never know what could happen. Some things can derail you that you can't control. But as long as we're focused on the things we can control, then we're going to increase the likelihood that we're going to be successful. All right. So number 2, it's time to reflect. What actions did you take last year that led to your results? So if you didn't have great results and you didn't end up maximizing your bonus, or you didn't even hit bonus, what are the actions that you took in order to arrive where you are? Conversely, if you crushed it, let's say you got 50% of the total potential for the bonus, what activities did you do that got you halfway there? And then we could look at how we're going to fill the void this year so that we could obviously take it to the next level. The third question that you're going to want to ask yourself is, what are you willing to do differently in 2023 to make it better than 2022? If your spend on marketing was X, are you willing to take it to Y in order to take it to that next level? Really important here to get super honest and clear with yourself on what you're willing to do differently. A lot of folks, myself included, for a very long time, we did the definition of insanity. We would continue to do the same thing, but hope for different results. And I can assure you that it doesn't happen, right? We have to be mindful of what we're doing and really intentional about making the things that we do translate into results. And so whether it's the goal this year is to create more freedom and at the same time increase wealth, well, we can do that, right? We have to really be intentional about setting up the processes. We have to be intentional about hiring the people so that we're not necessarily tied down and all of the results that are done are as a result of what we're doing, right? We have to empower that team to help with the results. So those are the 3 things that have been really instrumental for ourselves and for asking our teams and asking the folks that we help out in the Teledues program as well to get results. And hope that is super helpful for you. But let's have an awesome day. Appreciate you being on here, and we will talk soon.
What is my favorite communication tool in my insurance agency?
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes. Well, I'm going to answer that, but first, I'm Jason Feldman, and I'm bringing you a playbook. Now, This communication tool, I'm not only going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to tell you how to use it to save a bunch of time in your agency and show a lot of transparency between your teams. So you might know what it is just by me saying that last sentence, but it's Slack. Slack is one of my favorite tools. You can use it in many different ways, but one of my favorite ways to use it is to put specific teams together in a channel. The reason why we do that is because, your teams have the same goal. So you want a team, like let's say your sales team, same goal in mind, right? You want to put them in the same channel so that you can actually see the communication back and forth. And then also, if somebody else sees the communication back and forth, especially on service, where somebody might have somebody on the phone and it might be one person's client, but it might be somebody else's, regardless. To have that transparency is incredible. So much better than just shooting emails and CCing people. And that way it gets unbelievably complicated. So that is one of my favorite things to do. Put teams with the same goal in there. Now, another really cool thing that you can do is use it as like a celebration tool for that team. So if you have some system like Agency Zoom or something that celebrates, let's say, a sale, you can actually hook it up so that it shoots that sale into that channel. And if you do that, then everybody sees it and they all comment on it and they might put emojis. It becomes really fun. It kind of gamifies the agency. Keeping that transparency is great, but also motivating the team is amazing too. A couple things I like to stay away from in that tool is direct messaging. Direct messaging is, somebody might think it is helpful to go directly to the person, but when you do it as teams and you post the stuff in the channel, having the other people in there, it'll save so much time of back and forth. Well, let me ask this person and then let me ask this person. So we try to stay away from direct messages at all. And we also try to stay away from emails when we're talking about internal messaging and internal communication. So that is just one of my favorite tools. And going back to Zapier again, that opens up so many possibilities. So what that tool does is it'll connect any program with what they call an open API. But let's just say you have different systems on there, and even Google, like even a Gmail, you could send a mail message directly into a channel. That's another great way to do it. Like we have a service channel, and if you wanted to send something to everybody, like forward an email into it so that everybody can see the email and work on it appropriately as a team. Super cool stuff. One of my favorite tools. I think it's one of the most underrated tools as well, but there's so many possibilities. So that is one of my favorites. Keep your teams motivated, keep your teams on the same page, save time in your energy, in your agency, which means saving your energy. But so that is my tip of the day. Tool of the day, Slack.